Hi, Maria here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you my top 10 winter fragrances. Now, here in Edmonton, it's been like minus 29, minus 30 degrees Celsius. So it's freezing. It's really, really cold outside. And so mainly I'm inside, but I wanted to pick fragrances that are nice and cozy and wonderful for this time of year. They cut through the cold, they're strong, they're powerful, they're going to make you feel warm inside. And so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. If you haven't subscribed, just go ahead and hit that button. Join the weird and wonderful family. I would love to have you part of the community. And without further ado, let's get into this. The first fragrance I have for you is Maison Martin Margiela's By the Fireplace. Now this is part of the replica line. What's cool about the replica line is they kind of capture in fragrance a snapshot in time. So this one is, it's called By the Fireplace. It's supposed to be in 1971 and the fragrance description is burning wood and chestnut. And it's unisex. So that's exactly what you get in this. It smells like a fire, a cozy fire. You can smell the wood burning, so it's not just woody. There's a little bit of kind of almost a smoke or burn that's going on in it. It makes it smell a lot more warm and a lot more rich smelling. So just like, you know, when you get a bit of a brown on meat and it tastes that much richer, I find that with this one. And then it has chestnuts, it's got marshmallows, so it smells like you're roasting marshmallows on the fire, getting ready for a bit of a s'mores party. That's what I get out of this one. Now the longevity is 6 hours. Or a little bit longer, but it's a little bit closer to the skin, so it's great for cuddling nights in. It's just super cozy and awesome. Next fragrance that I have for you is Girl of Now Shine. Now this one, I think it was marketed for the spring, but to me this is a perfect winter scent. This one has still the pistachio, almonds. I think there's orange blossom in this, or neroli. So you get that little bit of orange blossom like you do in all of the ELIE fragrances. But then with the warm nuts like the pistachios and the almond, it just smells really delicious and warm, nutty. But then what makes this one stand out from the original is it's got this pineapple that kind of shines through. So it's a warmer fruit. I like to say almost like a cooked pineapple, like a pineapple upside down cake with pistachios sprinkled on top. That's kind of what you're getting from this one. So I really enjoy wearing this one, especially if I'm going outside. So if I'm going out and about for a day, this is the fragrance that I tend to want to reach for because I just get whiffs of it. It's so nice and potent that you're going to smell it in the cold weather. But like I'll spray it on my coat and then I get whiffs of it as I'm kind of, you know, going about my business. And I love this one. It's so, so beautiful. This one is kind of an all year rounder, except for in the summer, hot summer, it gets a little too much, but I love this for fall, winter, and spring. The next winter fragrance in my top 10 is SHAGHAF Oud by Swiss Arabian. Now this is supposed to be a dupe for Lancome's Oud Bouquet, but this one's a little bit more harsh apparently. What you're getting mainly is rose, oud, and praline. It's just delicious. It smells sophisticated, rich. It's got this sweetness with the oud. It's not a harsh oud. I just think it's absolutely beautiful and perfect for this kind of weather. Now, this one, I'm gonna have to try it a few more times. When I first got this, it was super duper potent. But lately it seems like it's not quite as strong. So I don't know if other people have noticed that as this one kind of ages. Does the longevity on it kind of go down? Like I may be wrong. Like it's still powerful. Like you get like 7 hours out of it, but before like you'd put it on and you'd smell it the next day. It was that strong. So yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure if this one has weakened or if it's just my imagination. But anyway, beautiful fragrance, super sophisticated. To me, this smells like a night out. Like, you know, you're putting it on, you're getting dressed up, you're going to, you know, we have this place called the Windsphere, which is this fancy place that you go and listen to music. So like this would be something that I'd want to wear to the Windsphere or just around the house, because that's basically what I do these days. Next fragrance that I am so impressed with is Sultan Noir by Pascal Morabito. Now, thank you to the subscriber that talked about this. She mentioned it in one of my videos, and just whatever she said, I'm like, I gotta check that out. And then I purchased it on eBay, $36. First of all, the bottle to me is just stunning. Like it doesn't do it justice on camera, but the cap looks almost pleated. So it's just a beautiful presentation. But the fragrance inside, I am so impressed with this. So when I think of a great vanilla, this would be the one that I would go for. This one beats out Un Bois Vanille by Serge Lutens, Spiritus Double Vanille by Guerlain. This would beat that one out for me as well. It's got that smoky kind of incense quality, but it's paired with kind of leather, and it smells like an aged liquor barrel somehow. I think there's apple in this. So there's a little bit of fruitiness, but super boozy, a bit smoky, but for whatever reason, the smoke in this is just perfectly done. I'm so impressed with this, and the longevity on this one, you're gonna get like, you know, 8 to 10 hours at least. Projection is excellent. Like, I am really impressed with this. Have you tried this one? Because if you have, tell people about it in the comments. I'm just so in love with this, and such a great price point. So Sultan Noir by Pascal Morabito. On the front of it, it just says Noir, but yeah, it's Sultan Noir. A couple that are newer to my collection. The first one is Okcha's MOIRA. Now this is a inspired scent for Herod by Parfums de Marly. This is just so gorgeous. It's sweet. There's a bit of cinnamon in it. It's rich, dense, it smells luxurious. This is, I think, marketed towards men. Like Herod is a men's fragrance. To me, it's completely unisex. It just smells rich, luxurious. Gives me a little bit of a cigar vibe. So, like when I put this on, I just imagine sitting there with a cognac, smoking a pipe, which I kind of want to take up. I've always wanted to smoke the pipe. It's not healthy for you, so I probably won't do it, but I've always kind of wanted to just sit there and, you know, kind of Gandalf-esque, like it's just a thing. Anyway, this is such a beautiful fragrance, super long lasting. So again, 10 hours out of this one, cuts through the cold, projects beautifully, rich, decadent, you know, you get the cinnamon and the spices and a little bit of a tobacco vibe somehow. It's in the same category for me as something like a tobacco vanille. This one's less sweet, but I'm in love with this one. So great fragrances coming from Okcha. I'm gonna do a dedicated review on the ones that I have, but I am so impressed. It's a Canadian company. These are $52, extrait de parfum, 30 mils, but nice and strong. Mainly inspired fragrances, and I think for the US they're $39, $39.95 or something like that. So such affordable fragrances, and yeah, super impressed. The next fragrance that I have for you is very new to my collection. It's been on my wish list for a long time, and I got it for Christmas. Yay! And it is Santal Royal by Guerlain. Now this fragrance is absolutely stunning. I love it. Again, it's unisex. This is a powerhouse fragrance. It's gonna last a long time on the skin. I sprayed it on my hand so I could give you, oh, it's so delicious. It's, what I noticed the most is oud and cinnamon. It's slightly sweet, but not too sweet. It's rich, it's dense, It's classy, yet very unisex. It's understated elegance. To me, this reminds me a little bit, it gives me the same vibe as something like New York Fifth Avenue Intense, I think it was called, by Fragrance Du Bois. You know, it gives you that kind of old world money vibe. This is the same sort of fragrance. So gorgeous. This has jasmine and neroli in the opening. To be honest, I don't really notice the florals. I just notice the delectable spices. It has rose, cinnamon, and peach in the mid. I get a little bit of that rose. I don't really notice the jasmine and neroli, but a little hint of rose, and then that cinnamon. The peach, I don't really notice peach, but I think it just adds, it rounds out that cinnamon. Like, oh, it's so amazing. And then in the base, you have agar wood or oud, sandalwood, leather, amber, and musk. And so, yes, you get the leather, but like, to me, this one is one of the most beautiful fragrances for cinnamon that you can get. So if you love cinnamon in a fragrance, this one is definitely worth checking out. It is sexy. It smells, it reminds me of, it reminds me of, like, let's say you're in Spain or Italy or someplace like that, and you go into a fancy barn. Like, there isn't any barny smell in the barn because it's kept really clean. And there's a rugged man, that's been riding a horse. Like, it's so dumb. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but it gives me this vibe like Zorro, like The Mask of Zorro, those movies. Somehow this transports me to that time with those dresses and swords, and oh, it's so gorgeous. Like, I just love this one. It's super rich smelling and like very bougie, delicious. It's absolutely one of my favorite fragrances. So the next fragrance that I have for you is Intense Cafe by Montal. Now, this fragrance is mainly, what you're gonna get is rose, a hint of coffee, kind of like a creamy coffee. This one is beautiful. I don't wear this one very much because it's a 50 ml, but it looks like the tiniest bottle in the world, and I'm scared of using it up. So I need to just start wearing this one more. This one is a powerhouse. Like, a couple sprays and you're gonna smell yourself all day. People around you are gonna smell you. It's just simply stunning. So this is gorgeous. The top notes are floral. The mid is rose and coffee. The base is vanilla, musk, and amber. So to me what this smells like is a coffee with lots of sugar and cream. Like, this is super sweet. You take a sip of coffee and you're smelling roses at the same time, like sugared coffee. That's what this reminds me of. This is not as coffee heavy as something like an Ylang Ylang espresso or a Cafe Tuberosa, and the coffee does dissipate. I still smell it, but it's not as strong. It kind of takes a secondary seat to the rose. This is also very similar to Rose's Vanille, so if you have that, very similar to that. So super sweet, almost syrupy or candied rose with a creamy, sugary coffee is what you get out of this one. The longevity on this one is amazing. Again, this one transports me in my fantasies to Paris, sitting in an outdoor cafe, enjoying my latte, smelling the roses, or, you know, the smell of flowers on the air in the spring, and someone's playing La Vie en Rose in the background. That's what this gives me the vibe of, and it's just perfect for winter. Yeah, and super potent. Like, you are gonna smell yourself all day with this on, and everybody around you is gonna smell. You don't need many sprays of this one. So the next fragrance is not a powerhouse, but I think it's perfect for the winter time. It's kind of perfect anytime. It's Hugo Boss, the Scent Private Accord for Her. This fragrance, it's really rather light, so maybe it's a terrible choice for winter, but I just find this one so cozy. Now look at the mister on this one. Like, like, it's stunning. Like, that mister just does it for me. When I spray myself with this mister, I feel very, very, I don't know, I feel very self-cared for. So this fragrance, it's just, to me, cozy and comforting. There's a bit of sensuality to this one as well. This is oftentimes my bedtime fragrance. But I think it's a great one for the winter if you want to feel cozy and just delicious. This is such a beautiful one. Great one for close encounters because it's not overpowering. This one has mandarin orange in the top, coffee and osmanthus in the mid, and cacao and tonka bean in the base. So I don't notice the coffee in this at all. I do notice that little bit of a floral component with the osmanthus, but what you're getting, what I think this smells like is kind of a powdered chocolate with orange. It kind of reminds me of the By Terry's chocolate oranges that I always get at Christmas. I didn't get one this year though. Kind of has that vibe. The orange kind of mellows out and then you're just left with a beautiful sweetness on your skin. I love wearing this one because as it, you know how sometimes fragrances can be really beautiful, but then like in the deep dry down, like 4 or 5 hours later, sometimes it can just turn a little bit different where it's not as delectable. This one just smells like just a light sweetness mixed with your skin in the end. So it's beautiful, not overpowering. It's a very gentle fragrance, but I just really enjoy it and I find it super cozy. One that I think would be great layered with this one, or could wear it on your own, is Angel Muse by Mugler. This is a powerhouse of a fragrance. It's major patchouli heavy. So if you're not a patchouli fan, you may not like this. A lot of times if you hate Angel, you'll maybe hate this one, although lots of people that don't like Angel still like Angel Muse. So Angel Muse EDP has pink pepper and grapefruit in the opening, and I definitely get that little bit of a spicy kick. I can smell like there's a bit of a tartness because of the grapefruit. And then in the mid, you get this hazelnut cacao spread that smells very similar to something like a Nutella. So really kind of luscious and delicious. For the longest time, I smelt more of the patchouli and vetiver in this one. So this one, instead of being a hazelnut spread kind of situation on my skin, or to my nose, reminded me more of a sweet tea. And I still get that, but now I also get that cacao hazelnut-y type spread coming through, you know, as it dries down. So I really enjoy this one. This one, if you spray it, go light because it is super potent, and this is going to take you all day, like 12 plus hours. Like, this is super, super strong. Really cozy, delicious, awesome. And I think that these two would be amazing layered together, because if you don't smell the hazelnut as much, if you put this one on, you're going to get that chocolatey vibe with it. So yeah, Angel Muse Eau de Parfum, gorgeous. So the last fragrance I wanted to share with you, I find extremely uplifting, and that is Jasmine Wisp by Rasasi. Now, I've talked about this one quite a lot recently. I love this one. I love it for many of the seasons. Like, it kind of can transcend seasons. It may be a little potent for summer, but this in the winter, what I love about it is it's uplifting, it's fruity, and yet it cuts through the cold. I think I'm going to do a fruity, like my fruits that can cut through the cold. I think I'm going to do a video on that one. This one has mandarin, grapefruit, and lemon in the opening. So you get kind of, like, I don't think it smells super citrus or tart, but you get that kind of brighter fruit. And then in the mids, it has passion fruit, white flowers, pear, peach, and coconut. I notice the passion fruit more than anything. And then the base has vanilla, amber, and tonka bean. So lots of notes in there. What I get primarily, it doesn't have jasmine in it. It has floral notes, but there is a jasmine-y type quality, so it's a little bit intoxicating in a sense. I don't think this is overly sexy or anything like that, but it just smells so cheery and uplifting. You get that passion fruit, just kind of a burst of flirtatious goodness, and I just think it's stunning. It's pretty linear, so You kind of get the same smell throughout. I found this one super scratchy when I first bought it. It's like, oh, it's too much, but now I'm absolutely in love with it. It's one of my favorites. I've used up almost half the bottle, so yeah, I really love this one. Those are my favorite winter scents, my top 10 winter fragrances for 2022. These are all powerhouses in their own right. Yeah, if I could pick probably my favorite at this time, it'd have to be SANTAL Royale, because it's just my new baby and I'm in love with it. And then SULTAN NOIR would be a close second, because I'm just so impressed with the quality for $36. So it's crazy, because this one was, you know, like 189 or something like that at the discount website. This one was $36. They both smell rich and luxurious. So you definitely don't need to spend a lot of money to smell bougie. But this one is just, the cinnamon in this one is just so stunning. So stunning. So this is my favorite right now. Anyway, these are all beautiful fragrances. What is your lineup for the winter? I would love to know. And other than that, I hope you have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.